Now, for those of you that don't know, we are planting 3 different varieties of sweet corn as we go along here. Now, the main reason for that is because, good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
Hi, I'm Autumn.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Ralph.
I'm Matt, and we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. We are getting into vegetable plant sale mode. We've got all this lettuce right here, and it may look fine to you guys, but this stuff is getting to the point where it's too big for us to keep it in the greenhouse. So we want to make sure we get it up to the farm market so we can sell it to our customers. We've got a few varieties of lettuce here. We're hoping it all sells pretty quick. It's not that the lettuce is old, it's actually fairly young, but it's starting to get too big to keep it in our greenhouses. Soon enough, we're gonna get to the point where our parking lot is completely full of flowers and vegetable plants. Right now, we have just a few tables set up just for some early stuff, and we even brought a couple tomatoes up. It's a little early in our area for tomatoes, but some of our customers want them.
Set up fully. I think we're gonna do like we did last year. Go this way with the tables.
I think so too. If you look and see, some of this lettuce is a little on the smaller side. This is actually stuff that we've had up here. We brought it up when it was a little younger, and because it's been cold, it hasn't grown as fast as the stuff that was in the greenhouse. Now, you're not in working clothes today. What's going on?
Can a guy get a day off?
Now this week we are going to be planting our early cole crops. As you can see, we've got our wagon completely full of the plants. Now we moved these outside about 2 weeks ago. We've had a couple really cold nights where we've had to move them back inside. But by moving them outside, we've got them accustomed to the wind. We've got them accustomed to the air temperature. Because if we took these guys straight from the greenhouse and then went and planted them, they would be tall, they'd be spindly, it'd be easy for the wind to break them, and the weather might affect them. We call that hardening off the plants. So if you are planting into a garden, I would suggest that, because if you buy your plants from a greenhouse and then move them right into the garden, you might have a little trouble. Yeah, the tomatoes are really starting to get some size to them. Look at these 6-inch pots. That's a beautiful tomato plant right there. And then we have our peppers on this side, and they are starting to get a lot of nice size to them. They're starting to thicken up. That's what we like to see. We don't want these tall, spindly peppers. I feel like I'm just showing you guys around a lot today, but there's just been so much growth in the greenhouses that I can't help it. For example, in one of our previous videos, these were those tomatoes that we put into these hanging baskets. And as you can see, there are blossoms on here, and the size of the plants has changed completely. They're already starting to fill out these little baskets. And then we have our red cherry tomato hanging baskets. They are almost ready. We're gonna be taking them up top soon. There are tons of blossoms on these plants, and they are gonna produce a lot of tomatoes. What, do your kids just leave you out in the middle of a field like this all the time?
I don't know where they are. We are putting fertilizer on ground that we're going to plant potatoes in. Potatoes use a lot of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, so we're putting on a good amount. Andy, you want to grab that big rock and throw it down over the bank?
Well, it looks as if the mulch is doing its job. It's got a lot of moisture under there. Now there's no drip line through here, so a lot of people always ask, you know, how's the corn gonna get water underneath this mulch? Condensation does a great job. As you can see, that is a lot of water underneath there. And to help you appreciate how important this mulch is, we ran out of mulch right there. But we kept planting with seed because we wanted to finish the row out even. And as we keep going along, we planted seed, and it is just starting to come out of the ground now. I wish you guys were here to feel the heat that is coming out from underneath this mulch. As you can see, we've got a little corn coming up. Look at that. This sweet corn is about 3 weeks earlier than the stuff we would have planted just regularly into the ground. So this mulch, it's helping out a lot.
leave at 6 a.m. and go buy yourself sunglasses before you go to the mill.
Where'd you buy sunglasses at?
At Pilot.
You bought at the gas station.
I want a pair.
You good?
Okay, up to the sweet corn planter.
Oh, and by the way, we got our door fixed. I never showed you guys. Check that out. Isn't that pretty nice? We got the sweet corn planter back with the mulch layer, so we're actually gonna be doing some more sweet corn under the mulch, which is good news for us. Now we're gonna be adding fertilizer to the corn while we plant. Now that will really give it a boost when it starts to germinate. When you're planting your seeds, the best thing you can do is give them the best early start possible, and the fertilizer really helps with that. Tell me what happened now. Tell me what happened while you have a sandwich in your hand.
Daniel blew a hydraulic line out and I have to go get one and I don't want to miss lunch.
It is lunchtime. We got our machine all set up and we find ourselves back out in the field. We're gonna be planting a few more varieties of corn out here. I think it's the same 3 varieties that we planted before. As you guys saw earlier, the method just works so well, and that's why we're gonna do a few more rows of it.
Watch out, Andy.
We stopped for a moment because we're having a little bit of a problem. The machine is not throwing enough dirt up on this side of the mulch. So as we go up through, we're worried later on it might actually blow up from the wind. So we're just trying to adjust the machine a little bit so that more dirt goes onto the mulch. This is what we are trying to avoid. If you notice, there is no covering right here. So I need to go through with the shovel and cover this up. The second we get any wind, it's gonna grab this mulch and it's gonna pull it out of the ground and tear it. So that's why I need to come through with the shovel and put some dirt on it. We just finished one variety, now we're moving on to another. My job isn't the most exciting. I was trying to think of a way to make it look glamorous, but I walk from one end of the field to the other, shovel dirt on the mulch, and then I walk to the other end. Again, not glamorous, just necessary. Now, for those of you that don't know, we are planting 3 different varieties of sweet corn as we go along here. Now, the main reason for that is because we sell all this sweet corn at the farm market. Now, if all this sweet corn was ready to harvest at the same time, we would have a problem. I mean, we sell a lot of sweet corn at the farm market. We get pretty busy, but we can't sell all of this at the same time. When you harvest sweet corn the way we do, there's about 4 to 5 days of peak harvest time when the sweet corn's at its tastiest. So as we go down through planting, we are doing it in stages, different day varieties. So when one planting is finished, the next planting will be ready to harvest. I'm riding on the back of the machine right now. What I'm looking for is making sure no dirt clumps up. I also am checking to make sure that the machine is planting the seed. Sometimes the machine won't plant, and that's why I'm constantly looking over to make sure that our seed levels are lowering in the bins. What's funny, well, it's not really funny, kind of a bummer, when you finish on the other end of the field, someone has to walk back for the truck. So I guess that's me. And it hasn't been this warm in Pennsylvania in quite some time. Whew. So one of the things I always love about vegetable farming is there's always these little like machines or tools that do a specific job. This right here is our potato planter. Now, this potato planter was made in 1958. Dad, how long have you had it? Do you even know?
Probably 30 years.
There's a little problem with it right now, which we're working on fixing.
I hope it works.
Dad and I just got home. This tank I have, it's for fertilizer, but a couple of the ends on it were broken. So that's why we had to go to Tractor Supply and pick up some ends. Now we just got to get everything hooked back together. Everything's working. Yeah, the pump on this machine allows us to run liquid fertilizer with this as well. And Dad mentioned earlier in the video, when you're planting potatoes, you need a lot of fertilizer. They take up a lot of nutrients out of the ground. So we've got everything working properly on the chop machine. The main reason for going out and planting a little bit, we just want to make sure everything works. We're probably going to plant a lot of the potatoes tomorrow, so it's best for us to go see, make sure everything works, so we have few problems tomorrow. We're just running into all sorts of problems. The machine just thought we were going up the hill, something happened with the machine, dumping potatoes out on the ground. We'll get it figured out though. We'll get it figured out. I really wanted to film us planting potatoes for you guys, but it's just not going to happen today. You guys sleep good tonight. I hope no cows bother you. Because nobody wants to be known as the guy who got his crops eaten by his animals twice. I don't want that. Oh, okay, Grammy. What are we having for dinner tonight?
Meatloaf, pickled cucumbers and onions, macaroni, and fresh asparagus from the garden.
All right, guys. We're sitting down for dinner, so that means we're going to end the video tonight. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Hey, like and subscribe.